YouTube! So today I am drawing my blue-haired original character again. Her name's Estelle. And I'm just working on her reference. I did one of my other characters back in February with an accurate representation of their height and stuff. And just a little disclaimer right here at the beginning of the video. She isn't a child. So yeah, she's like 18. That's the kind of age I've given her, and she's very short, so she does look like a child. So hopefully you aren't mistaking her for a child because I'm drawing her in her underwear. And I'm kind of doing that just to kind of get a very good idea of the proportions of my characters and how I want them to look under the clothes. But I didn't really want to draw them nude for obviously reasons. I decided to just put them in underwear, and then from there I build up their clothes. With my last character, I did him in his underwear, and then he's got like a chainmail shirt under another shirt, so I put him in that and then kept working from there. So yeah, and for Estelle, I did her 3 different outfits, or 2.5, I guess. I drew her in one of her casual wear outfit, I'll call it, and that's the one with the little red shirt and the flowy sleeves. I haven't gotten to drawing it yet. And then I also did her little religious outfit, and I put 2 different versions of that one. And I had the one where she has the little cloth piece on her arms and her jewelry on, and one that she didn't have that stuff on. So yeah, and she's you should recognize her from my first video if you've seen that. And the thing with Estelle is she's one of my characters who is a priestess of a religion. She's like a high priestess, and I haven't really worked out all the details yet, but I'm planning on starting up a comic and stuff with Estelle, and then two of my other characters I have. And I really had a lot of fun working on this piece. It was nice to actually have like just a reference to go back to that's really easy to just go back to and look and just get an idea of what her outfits are, which I think is really key if you want to keep drawing your characters consistently, is to have a reference. It helps you know, like this, the way I have it is it helps me look at my characters and see how they are in reference with each other. So Estelle is my shortest character. She is 4 foot something. She's not even 5 feet. And my tallest character is 6 foot. So there's a big height difference between those two. And I think it's really important to be able to know like how big this difference is, so you can really show this when you're drawing your characters out and you're drawing them together in scenes and stuff. And I think it's important if you, let's say I was going to put Estelle into a scene. If I know how tall she is and how her height would relate with other objects, it makes it easier to keep proportions between the objects. I can use the objects around her to help show her scale. And I also think it's helpful to have a reference to make sure you have something to look back on. Something you can look back on and be like, wait, how did I draw this? Or what does this outfit look like? It's important to kind of know your characters. I think it's important to know both their physical attributes and their mental and personality attributes too. It's important to know how your characters would respond to a certain situation, and it's important to know what they look like so you can try and keep your characters consistent. Character consistency is really key. It's important to keep them consistent so your reader or art lover or whoever is looking at your piece can look at one picture of your character and another picture of your character and be like, oh, this is the same person. They have the same face and everything like that. And something I might do in the future for these little references is include side views and back views. I mean, I have an idea in my head of what they'd look like from the back and what they'd look like from the side, but in order to keep more consistency in my characters, it's really important to draw it out and have a physical representation of what your characters will look like from every single angle. And in the future, I'm going to do another of these little reference pieces with another one of my characters. And the moment, I'm just still working on her and stuff. I can tell you a little bit more about my character. She's a teen. She lives in a religious town. And it's not really like a town with houses and stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know if you are going to know the little reference I'm talking about, but there's these types of houses that Native Americans, I'm pretty sure, lived in, and they kind of just are all stacked up on each other, and there are no sidewalks. All the houses are touching each other, and the sidewalks are the roofs. And I thought that would be a really cool idea to kind of incorporate into this village that she lives in. And I'm kind of trying to work on what the other inhabitants of this town would look like. I've kind of created a mother character for her, and I've created an elderly lady who would kind of fit into this whole religious town. And something that I think is really going to be important in my little story, my story is going to have, or what I'm planning on including in my story, is going to be kind of like demons and stuff like that, and devils and stuff. So I think one of Estelle's big important pieces in the story would be helping with giving the character the knowledge he needs to defeat these demons, because she is the high priestess of a religion. And another part of Estelle is she is a trained fighter. She knows how to use a sword. So even though she is teeny, both height-wise and like weight-wise, she is like a stick. She has not many curves to her body, and she doesn't have a lot of weight on her. Like, in contrast to her very frail appearance, I've kind of added her to be Estelle is not super weak. I haven't really worked it out yet. I'm still in the brainstorming process of this. I have the characters, and now I'm trying to work the story around them and such. One of the things that I really want to do in the future is really fleshing out my characters. I really do want to have a very good understanding of who my characters are before I really start throwing them into situations. I kind of already have some key points that I want in my story kind of planned out in my head and stuff. And I'm trying to work on sequence of events and stuff. But there's some like very important moments that I've already kind of thought up, that I think would be integral to my story. And hopefully in the future I can start working on it and everything, and I can share it with all of you guys. And I've had really a lot of fun working on developing all my characters, and I think Estelle might be one of my favorites that I've developed so far. That may be a bad thing to say, that you have a favorite. One of your characters that you've made is one of your favorites. I don't know, it's like choosing a favorite child in a way. But I do love all of my characters so far. It's just a matter of developing them more and getting to know them better. I hope you guys liked this video. Bye!